season that began in a glimmer of hope, a new conference, a new head coach, a whole new group of hungry players is about to end as quickly as it started. Massachusetts have gone through the ringer this season. 11 straight losses, 0 wins to this point. They have 9 of their starters from week 1 that are not playing today on the final game of the season. On defense, they have 7 missing. Offense, 9 missing. Miles, last game of the season, UMass play host to Bowling Green here at McGurk Alumni Stadium. A Tuesday 4:30 kickoff. A strange season with a strange ending, but UMass have a chance to do the one thing that they haven't been able to do in a year and 30 days, win a football game. They haven't been able to win a football game against an FBS opponent in 759 days. And the last time that they won against an FBS opponent at home, 1,508 days ago. Today, Bowling Green are the last stop on a tour from the worst possible place imaginable. Miles, the last game of the season. What are your keys to the game?
Yeah, it's all going to be about the run game here today. UMass have struggled mightily in the run game, 4th worst rushing defense in the nation, and this Bowling Green team is a team that loves to run the ball. They have this redshirt freshman transfer from Missouri, Austin Dendy. He's had 4 collegiate games, and he's gone off of them. His last 4 games, 93 yards, 62 yards, 113 yards, 110 yards, 3 touchdowns in that time. He has really taken the bell cow role in this Bowling Green offense, who started their season with a committee, but he's really taken over since returning from injury. He's a transfer from Missouri, and he has exploded for Bowling Green.
Austin Dendy, the name to watch out for Bowling Green. The Falcons have been very weak in the second half of this season. There are 3 wins coming against Lafayette, Liberty, and Toledo, all in the first couple of games of the season. Since then, since action has begun, not much has gone their way. That being said, UMass have a whole lot more to make up for. We'll be back with the start of the game in just about 3 minutes. Again, I'm Dylan Shalom here with Miles Donato on WMUA YouTube. This game starts in a couple of minutes. Stay tuned. Welcome back to WMUA YouTube for UMass' last football game of the season. The Minutemen will kick the game off in a minute and 35 seconds. Miles, we talked about the run game. We talked about Austin Dendy and how crucial he will be to Bowling Green's rushing attack, but there's so much more to this game than just that. This UMass defense has been incredibly poor against the running quarterbacks this season. This team in Bowling Green have a quarterback who's going to be able to use that outside of the field, and we don't even know who the starting quarterback is going to be for Bowling Green. They've got three guys that have played big snaps this season: Drew Pine, Hunter Najim, and Lucian Anderson. All three of those guys in play for today, so a game-time decision as to who's going to be the quarterback. For the Minutemen, it's going to be Grant Jordan, who just a couple of weeks ago was standing by the door and letting A.J. Hairston and Brandon Rose walk in front of him. Today, he's going to be the starting quarterback for the last game of the season.
Yeah, one thing I want to mention is how UMass's defense has changed throughout the season. Beginning of the year, they were very aggressive and were giving up a lot of big plays. And Coach Doher Simiak, he wanted to limit those big plays, and they started playing some more off-coverage ball. And that's allowed the rushing offenses to slowly wear down the Minutemen throughout games, and to the point where in the third and fourth quarters, teams start to pull away. So that off-coverage style of play, it doesn't work against teams that capitalize on the short game like the team does with the tight ends in Bowling Green and the rush game. It will slowly wear the Minutemen down. They need to play a little more aggressive than they have in the past couple of weeks if they want a different result.
Well, we'll see how it goes as UMass are out on the field to kick the ball off, and it will be the man who returned the opening kickoff of the season to the house for a touchdown for Bowling Green. Cameron Petaway back to field it, off to kick UMass, the last game of the season. So happy you could all be aboard here on WMUA. Chip kick around the 20-yard line, received and taken to the 30, and now brought down by a gang of UMass tacklers around the 31-yard line. Bowling Green will start with the ball there.
You don't kick it all the way deep to one of the premier return men in, I guess, the country. And so he short kick there, and they get a decent return. They'll start the drive on the 31-yard line.
And out for the Bowling Green Falcons is they're going to slow roll the quarterback, and it will be Hunter Najim, the young quarterback who was expected to play today. He had a disappointing game last Tuesday against Akron. Today he has a chance to right the ship. In the pistol formation, takes the snap, hands off to Dendy. He's going to get to the outside, stiff arm, and brought down by Brennan Bailey.
Good job staying with him the entire way on the outside. Dendy was looking for that outside edge. Good tackle by Bailey, holding his gap and really making sure that Dendy, if he finds that edge, he's gone. He's an aggressive runner that likes to play in between the tackles, but he's still a fast player that if he gets to the outside, it's dangerous.
UMass making some switches. Brennan Bailey with the tackle. It's a gain of 2 for Austin Dendy. Handoff this time given to Dendy again. He's going to break a couple more tackles and go down, I believe, just past the first down marker. So it's going to be a gain of around 8 for the first down. Yeah, they are going to move the markers.
UMass Minutemen initially made contact with him probably 4 or 5 yards away from the first down marker. But the way he plays, he continues through contact. He continues to move his feet to the very last moment. Sometimes once he's still on the ground, his legs are still moving. So that's something to look for throughout this game. Dendy's ability to break tackles late.
Dendy checks out. The jet sweep given to Petaway. He's going to get through a couple guys. He's going to take it to the 40. He's being hawked down, brought down by Zeron Daniel around the 25-yard line. A big run there by the return specialist, Cameron Petaway.
Huge tackle by Daniel. He was gone otherwise. Able to turn on the burners, make the tackle, but a broken tackle on the line of scrimmage, massive space, and Petaway took it.
So Petaway with the run, 3 rushes, no passes, and already Bowling Green on the UMass 25. Najim takes the snap, gives to Dendy, gets through a couple of guys and brought down for about a gain of 4. Tim Grant Randall one on top of him in the pile.
Yeah, this is a Bowling Green team that will run the ball consistently throughout the entire game. On first down this season, they have run the ball 200 times, only passed the ball 85 times. Proof that they are a run-heavy team. On first down, they will most likely be running the ball.
2nd down and 7 now for the Falcons. Press coverage for UMass on the short side. 13 personnel for the Falcons. Handoff given to Dendy, and he is stacked up around the 18-yard line. We'll see how much they give him. It's going to be a 3rd down and short.
He broke the initial tackle. Daniel once again making the important one to limit more yards. But this is going to be a big 3rd down, 3rd and about 3.
So Bailey checks back on with Aquan Robinson, Tim Grant Randall, and Darion Craig. That's their usual outside run stopping package. Pistol formation. Dendy not in the backfield. Najim takes the snap, fakes the handoff, gives the throw. He's going to pick up the 1st down and just that little bit more.
Jacob Harris, the 2nd premier tight end on this Bowling Green roster. And you set up the run throughout this entire game. And then you can use the play action there, get the important 3-4 yards that you need for the 1st down. And Jacob Harris, and we will see Jaron Johnson later in this game. He is a premier tight end.
Well, we'll see what they come up with here on the 1st down carry, most likely. Najim gives the handoff in between the tacklers. It's going to be about a gain of 1. That one, the redshirt freshman running back, Markel Porter. As Dendy is going to check back in. Porter was in the game on that last fake where they got the ball to Jacob Harris. And with 10:41 left in the 1st quarter, Bowling Green moving at will with Najim at the helm. Dendy in at running back now. Motioning now is Petaway. Comes back around, a fake handoff. Najim's going to throw the screen to Dendy. Dendy to the outside, breaks a tackle. He's going to get into the end zone for a touchdown. Bowling Green take the lead on their first drive. And it's that man again, Austin Dendy, who delivers the final punch.
I mean, he was the man we told you guys look out for in this game, and he's already scored his 4th touchdown of his career, 4th of the season, in just 5 games. He has had an amazing end to the season in his 4 first games, now 5.
An incredible bright spot for the Falcons as they look to go up 7-0 following this extra point. Jackson Cleather, one of the best kickers in the country, here to kick the extra. Snap is up. Good hold, good kick. Bowling Green 7, UMass 0 with 10:18 left in the 1st quarter. Again, I'm Dylan Shalom here with Miles Donato on WMUA YouTube. Make sure to stay tuned for the rest of the game. We'll be back with the return of the action. The kickoff now about to go here. Up and away for UMass to return the fair catch, and they'll start with the ball on the 25-yard line, and it will be Grant Jordan out there with the rest of the UMass offense ready to go.
Grant Jordan in for the injured Hairston. Saw him before the game in a cast. Went down last game with that injury to his arm.
A bit of welcome news for the Minutemen. Reese Atkins is in and healthy as a tight end. Rocco Griffin as well on the field. So the seniors looking to be able to play some of their last games ever. We're unsure about some players' eligibility as there's a timeout potentially being called on the field. It's unclear, but everyone is wrapped back up with the rest of their guys. Maybe it was a media timeout and they had not verified that, so that's what it is. TV money makes the world go around, Miles.
Yeah, the red cap out there talking to the refs, trying to figure out maybe they went to start the game before leaving the ad breaks. So discussion between the refs and the MAC red cap, who's in charge of when things go to break versus just leaving them. 3 minutes they put on the clock now. Dropped to 2.
I would be surprised if they went that whole time, but I guess maybe not. So we've got 2 minutes to talk about that opening drive, Miles. Dendy, Petaway, Najum, they all were able to do what they needed to do to get Bowling Green into the end zone. Just a couple of plays, less than 5 minutes. It's more of the same for this UMass defense to this point.
I mean, it's going to be up to the middle linebackers of UMass to really step up in this game and limit the run as well as the tackles in the middle of the field. Chambray Jackson, Tim Grant Randall, like they're going to be key players for UMass. Otherwise, Bowling Green are just going to be able to establish the run throughout the entire game. And it's been a couple games in a row that UMass have been playing run-heavy teams and have struggled. So it's something that you need to focus in on and let the Bowling Green team beat you in other ways.
The MAC is a historically very run-heavy conference. UMass against Ohio allowed 363 rushing yards. Bowling Green are a team that likes to run the ball even more than a team like Ohio. Look at the game against NIU. They allowed 318. Against Akron, 237. Against Buffalo, they were able to stop the run, but that was one of their only very good games as a team this whole season. I think if you look at most games this season, they've given up more than 200 rushing yards. And against a team with a head coach like Eddie George, a former Heisman Trophy winner, a former Pro Bowler, All-Pro running back in the NFL, training guys like Austin Dendy and Cameron Petaway and the rest of that running back core, you are going to be in trouble. You add to that the lack of linebacking depth with the loss of Timmy Heinzpeter for the end of the season with his injury. It's going to be a big problem for UMass. But the offense is out there. Rocco Griffin running back with Grant Jordan in at quarterback. They're in the shotgun formation. Jaquan Gibson far side. Donnie Gray on the short side stacked around the hashes. Motioning is Max Dowling, the tight end. Jordan takes the snap. He's going to scramble himself. Beats the gap and I guess not officially a sack. It's a loss of about 4 yards on the rushing attempt.
Gideon Lamprin immediately cueing to that rush to the outside, following the guard's left, and just found that gap and just full speed went through it and made the tackle for a loss of 3 yards.
Lamprin, the leading tackler for the Bowling Green Falcons. Jordan back to throw. His throw over the head of the crossing Mac Dowling, so it's going to lead to a 3rd down and 13, and already the Minutemen behind sticks.
Yeah, Reese Atkins was open in the middle of the field for a short gain, but he elects to throw it a little bit deeper on that comeback route, and it just didn't really materialize a little bit off thrown. Now, you're 3rd and very deep, very difficult situation, obvious passing situation, and Bowling Green are able to send more pressure here.
Markovich not on the field. That's their usual receiving tight end. Jordan back to throw, escapes pressure. He's going to look to fire, finds the open Dowling. He's got some space to cover. He's not going to quite get to the sticks. It's going to be about a gain of 7, and it's going to force the Minutemen to punt. And the bright spot of this team, Keegan Andrews, is going to have quite the game today to flip the field.
Feels like Andrews is always nominated for the Ray 8 as a nominee. He won it in that first week, and he's just one of the best punters in the country. And so let's see if he can help aid the Minutemen defensively with some field position here.
Well, they're going to need some aid. This is a very dangerous returning team. We talked about Cam Petaway as the punt is up and ready to go. Around the 15-yard line, bounces back out at the 10. Keegan Andrews does it again. This is one of the best punters in the country, as we're going to go to immediate timeout with Bowling Green taking the ball back around the 10-yard line. We'll be back with the action in the first quarter. 9 minutes left. Bowling Green 7, UMass 0. Back here on WMUA YouTube, UMass 0, Bowling Green 7, 9 minutes left in the first quarter. UMass just had their first offensive drive go begging, but Keegan Andrews with the big punt to knock the Falcons back into their own 10-yard line. Najim to take the snap in the pistol, gives the handoff to Dendy. He's going to break through a couple of guys and be stopped by Tyler Martin for about a 5-yard gain.
Number 75 for the offense, lost his helmet, must sit out for one play.
And that was
Markel Porter on the rush.
Markel Porter on the rush, and Nate Paps, the graduate offensive tackle, lost his helmet, so he'll have to come out to be replaced by, I think that's a guard in there for him. The snap taken, screen pass thrown, caught, and he's going to go the distance. A long play going all the way, 40, 30, 10, 5, touchdown, Bowling Green. Brennan Ridley, the return specialist, able to make the play. No touch, no problem. Bowling Green makes it 13.
Before that, Ridley had 23 yards on the entire season on 3 receptions. Now he takes it all the way to the house on that screen pass. And UMass give up another explosive play.
And that's something that Joe Harris-Simiak has been preaching to his team and to everyone who will listen about not allowing explosive plays. And to their credit, they've done better at this point. Now, not look good for UMass going into a very hectic start to the game. Down 14-0, Cleather made the extra point. And that is going to be a big star in UMass's side for the rest of the game, allowing a 90-yard receiving touchdown. It was 87-yard receiving touchdown for Brennan Ridley on the screen pass. Najim, 3 for 3, over 100 yards today.
What is his depth of target, though? It has to be maybe not even over 1 yard. He's thrown 2 screen passes and a short, maybe 2-yard dig to a tight end on a play action. He's had no depth of target, but his players are making the plays for him and breaking those initial tackles, and UMass gives up way too much space, and they're just able to capitalize and get all the way down the field.
An untouched touchdown for Brennan Ridley. Earlier this season, he was arrested in October at a club for an altercation he and a couple of teammates got into. Back on the field, back scoring, as that kick is going to be fair call. UMass will take the ball at the 25 again. It'll be interesting to see whether or not UMass start to run the ball a little bit more. Grant Jordan on the first play of the game was stopped 3 yards on his own scramble. And then 2 passes because they were back in a 3rd and 13 situation, a 2nd and 13. Jordan back out on the field. Reese Adkins and Max Dowling both switching over to the left side. Jaquan Gibson in motion. Snap given, taken to Gibson. He's going to get to the 30-yard line, try to jump cut. He's brought down on the play. And it's going to be a gain of about 5 yards. Tackle there by El Pascal.
Kal-El Pascal, named after Superman. He looked like Superman making that tackle, diving tackle.
2nd down and 7. Handoff given to Rocco Griffin. He's going to break outside to the 40-yard line. Stiff arm brought down around the 47. A big run there for Rocco Griffin, something that we haven't seen since the game against Central Michigan.
Yeah, good blocking there from the O-line, opening up a massive gap in the 3 gap, able to cut it to the outside, and one tackler to beat could not get past the speedy JoJo Johnson.
No jump there. 7 minutes, 21 seconds left. Jordan in the pistol in the first quarter, that is. Still a lot of football left to be played. Fakes the handoff to Griffin. Jordan over the middle to Gibson. He's going to turn out of a tackle and eventually be brought down. But a big gain, 1st down for the Minutemen, and they are starting to move the ball, Miles.
Yeah, able to take advantage of the off covers that Bowling Green are playing on the right side of the field. Jaquan Gibson coming in, found some space in the middle of the field. Grant Jordan able to find him, and the UMass Minutemen are moving a little bit here to try and bring this game back to a more manageable score.
Jordan and Faulkner, the 2 in the pistol. Jaquan Gibson on the short side. Snap taken, gives it to Faulkner. He's going to get to the 30-yard line and be brought down just short of the 30-yard line on the about 7-yard scamper.
Yeah. The offensive guards for UMass have had a strong showing here early in pulling to the left, to the right, and opening up gaps just last minute for these running backs to really break up field with space.
Faulkner still in the game. Jordan ready to take the snap. Blitz coming. Faulkner gets the protection. He's going to scramble out to the left. Jordan tries to get out of it, and he's somehow not sacked yet. Now they're going to say whether or not he threw the ball, they're going to say he was brought down. And if he wasn't brought down, it looks like that will be a grounding penalty.
He may have gotten it off, but
they ruled him short. I believe they ruled him down before
He broke 3 tackles in the meantime, being taken down. And that's something we've seen all season from Grant Jordan, is the ability to break tackles. But when you have to break 4 in a row, it's just not a feasible
And you
thing.
keep on going backwards. It's going to be a loss of 15 yards on the sack, so Grant Jordan's rushing stats may take a little bit of a hit there. But the referees are going to talk about it and see whether or not that is a throw out of bounds or attempted throw, because the referees have stopped play.
Dowling was in the area when Grant Jordan attempted to throw the ball away while being tackled.
I find it hard to believe they'll change it. Doesn't look like they will. So they're going to keep the play going. 5:10 left in the first quarter. 3rd down and 18. Jordan back to pass. Blitz getting to him. He's going to step through it and be sacked. The Bowling Green defense comes to play and makes the play. That one, Eric George, the defensive end. And it's going to be a 4th and more than they can manage. So Keegan Andrews will be back out there and ready to punt. A 4th and 25 on the field.
That's 2 plays in a row that the defensive ends of Bowling Green able to get through on Jordan. Jordan breaks the first tackle, but there's only so much Jordan can do back there in breaking tackles. If he can't throw the ball away, find some space to throw the ball away. Keegan Andrews now on 4th down. Punt it.
Andrews' punt, again going to the right side. It's going to bounce and bounds and right around the 10-yard line again. We are looking at the best player on this UMass team, Miles. Keegan Andrews with 2 punts inside the 15. That one, I believe, right around the 11-yard line. 4:15 left in the first quarter. Bowling Green 14, UMass 0. We'll be back with the action. It's a 3-minute media timeout. The Minutemen defense out there for their 3rd attempt at a stop. Bowling Green have done everything that they could possibly do right on their first 2 drives. 2 touchdowns, one being the 87-yard screen pass taken to the house by Ridley, the other one being another screen pass that Austin Denby was the benefactor of, getting the touchdown from 11 yards out. They will start from their own 12, Bowling Green, with Hunter Najim still in at quarterback, and I think that's going to be the case for the rest of the game, Miles.
Yeah, they have two other quarterbacks they could rely on. And Lucian Anderson, he's their heavy rushing quarterback. Chance we see him later in the game if Bowling Green want to change things around a little bit.
Handoff given to Denny. He's going to get between a couple of tackles, be brought down for about a gain of 4. So that'll lead to a 2nd down and 6. Or 2nd down and 5. They're going to give him an extra yard. Ready to take the snap now. Gives the handoff to Dendy. He's going to get to the outside. Martin tracking him down and making the tackle, not before the 1st down for Austin Dendy, the Missouri transfer who has been so impressive to this point this season.
Stiff arm from Dendy. Looked to initially knock Martin off, but Martin able to just get his legs as he was falling down and prevent another breakaway touchdown if Dendy had gone past Martin there.
Tyler Martin, the junior from Arizona, transferring from Arizona. He's a Massachusetts native, but he's been immense in the loss of Timmy Heinz-Peter. He's been able to fill that void a little bit. The handoff given to Petway. He's going to try to bull over a member of the secondary, Malcolm Green, but to no avail. He'll get about 7 yards.
Bowling Green using a counter concept where the tight end and receiver come in and act as the left tackle and guard, pulling around, opening up gaps for the running back.
2nd down and 4. Najim in at quarterback. Dendy in the backfield with Petaway running in motion. They're going to give it to Petaway again. He's going to streak out, get the 1st down while being tackled there by Darion Craig, the star.
Bowling Green lining up with an extra lineman to the left there, and the tight end bringing him in, and having Dendy to the strong side, able to use that jet sweep and just get blockers in space. Dendy was able to have that initial block to free up some space. And if they're just going to use blockers in movement, it just creates so much space for the running backs, and that's why they're so successful in the run game.
Najim getting ready to throw. Finds Johnson, their most utilized tight end. He's going to break a couple of tackles and get brought down around 45-yard line. 3 flags thrown on the field. Unclear whether or not that's going to be a targeting on UMass, or it could be the other way because there were so many runners in open field. We'll see what the referees come to the decision of.
But another pass that was caught behind the line of scrimmage and taken for...
And they're walking back. It's a holding. So they'll take the 10 yards off of the catch to Johnson.
RJ Garcia called for holding his receiver.
Always frustrating when the guys that aren't in the trenches are the ones that find themselves grappling with a player. So a 1st down and 10. They won't give them the 1st and 20 because it was in mid-play. The handoff to Dendy, and he's stacked by some Minutemen. A loss of yards there. Malcolm Green in there to finish off the job.
Well, Malcolm Green there did what UMass need to do and just hold their alignment, hold their gap on the outside. He holds the edge and doesn't allow Dendy to get that space. That's what UMass need to do, is just play sound gap football.
2nd down and 9. They'll say he gained a yard. UMass really stacking the box. When they did this against NIU, the one action took it to the house. Najim decides against the throw. He's going to fire downfield over the hands of Kendall Bournes. It looked surely to be an interception, but it's going to be a 3rd down and 9. And it was actually Darion Craig who wasn't able to come down with it.
The 5'10" star position player for UMass. He jumped up for that one. I don't know how often he gets chances for interceptions, but that was his best chance. And that's one you want to get back if you are Darion Craig. But now you force a 3rd down and long, and you're in the best situation you've been in as UMass in this game.
3rd down and 9. Snap given, handed off to the redshirt freshman running back. He's going to back into maybe a yard short of the 1st down, and he will not get there. Markel Porter has gotten a few touches to this point. They're going to mark him short, but I think the offense will likely stay out there.
Both these backs that have been used primarily in the running game for Bowling Green have shown exemplary abilities to battle through contact and get those extra yards.
So the 4th down and 3, offense is going to stay on the field, but we're going to wind down to the end of the 1st quarter. They're going to line right there. Referee stopping them. 4, 3, 2, 1. That's the end of the quarter, so they're not going to run the play. Bowling Green 14, UMass 0, a 4th and 3, and a decision for head coach Eddie George to make on the field at the end of the quarter. We'll be back with the return of the action. 3:25 on the break clock. We'll be back just before that. I'm Dylan Shallum here with Miles Donato on WMUA YouTube. We're back here at McGurk Alumni Stadium. I'm Dylan Shallum here with Miles Donato for UMass's last football game of the season. Yet to win one. 0-11 to this point, and it's a 4th down and 3 for Bowling Green. Unclear as to whether or not they're going to keep the offense out. It looks like they're going to bring out the punt team. So UMass will have gotten their first stop of the game at the end of the 1st quarter, and they'll allow their offense to try to bridge this gap in scoring. Again, 14-0. Bowling Green now out to punt.
A long huddle before a punt is a suspicious play and some motion before the snap.
Especially on a game that is the last of the season with no bowl game implications. The punt is away. Jaquan Gibson-Fair catches it on the 13-yard line. So UMass and their offense will take the field with Grant Jordan at the helm again.
That's the second time on a Bowling Green kick that UMass have just elected to fair catch it with space to run. I think it's a choice by Joe Harris-Simiak to just not risk it on the returns.
And when we talked to Joe Harris-Simiak on Tuesday, or rather earlier this season, after the game against Bryant, he said that he likes when they don't take the ball out because you know what you're going to get. As Jordan takes the snap, he's going to run himself. He's going to get through a couple of guys and be brought down around the 15-yard line. So a gain of 2 or 3 on the QB power.
If you can establish the run game, still only down 14, you still need to work on establishing that run game. If you force Grant Jordan to have to pass the ball over 25 times in this game, it's going to be a tough task for the Minutemen.
Handoff to Hood. He's going to be brought down. Fumble. They're going to say he fumbled the football, and Bowling have the football. That is going to be the call on the field. It didn't look to me like that was... It didn't look like he had fumbled the ball before going down. We'll see what the referees decide. As Hood... Yeah, that punched out. He loses control of the ball before he goes down. That's going to be a fumble, and Bowling Green will get the ball in the red zone.
Gideon ESPN, that's his middle name, ESPN. Lamprin on the punch out. He has become a top MAC middle linebacker. He's one of the best at the position in the conference. And he proves it here, forcing a turnover. And now Bowling Green with it on the 12-yard line to go in to score their third.
Yeah, barring Red Murdoch, probably the best linebacker in the MAC. Gideon ESPN Lamprin. Handoff given to Dendy. He's going to dive into the pile, get about a yard. And UMass have looked to do a little bit better in the run game as of lately, as we just saw Brandon Hood go into the black medical tent on the sideline. So it's a gain of 3 and a second down.
UMass have dealt with their running back injuries this season. Rocco Griffin missed a sizable amount of time earlier in the season. He's back now, but he's still probably not at full health.
Najim gives the handoff to Dendy. He's going to break some tackles and power his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Bowling Green, and the lead just keeps getting larger for the Falcons, and they soar away for their 20th point.
Dendy with his second touchdown of the game. This is his second multi-touchdown game. He is really proving to just be the bell cow for this Bowling Green team.
And a stop that looked to spark something for the Minutemen now. A turnover and a touchdown later brings them down 20, soon to be 21-0, barring this extra point from Jackson Cleather. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up and good, right into the Performance Center netting. UMass 0, Bowling Green 21, with 13:43 left in the second quarter. As the UMass kicking team and the Bowling Green kicking team, UMass receiving team, will be out on the field shortly. We'll be back after this quick media timeout. $13:43 left in the second quarter. Bowling Green 21, UMass 0. And a season that's been getting worse and worse with every week that turns. Now, 2 days before Thanksgiving, down 21-0 on Senior Day. This UMass team are just a couple of quarters away from an astonishingly bad close to the season.
Here on the return, I would like them to take the return themselves. Don't just fair catch it and try and break something, gather some momentum here going into the second quarter.
Getting something out of a return has been something that UMass have not really done at all this season. They had one return from TJ McGee against Bryant that went for around 50 yards. Other than that, they've been mostly a fair catching team, as they will do it again. Jaquan Gibson fair catches, and they'll be on the 25-yard line. But I tend to agree with you, Miles, that 13:43 left, 21-0 down in the last game of the season. Why not? Why not have someone return the football, try to spark something? Special teams is oftentimes a game of who's going to make a mistake. And Bowling Green isn't a particularly mistake-free team.
That kick was maybe a yard shorter. That's at the one, and he's fair catching that at the one. He's just barely in the end zone there to make that fair catch for the touchback. Otherwise, it's at the one.
Jordan takes the snap, fakes the handoff, gives it to the on-running Matthew Ogani for his first catch of the season, and he's brought down for a gain of about 1.
Preston Esto on the tackle there, wrapped fully, and brought him down for a minimal gain.
Matt Ogani, the transfer from Maryland, was expected to maybe make a little bit more of a splash than he did, but it's the first time for every catch. It's a gain of 2. Gibson in motion around Jordan. Fakes the handoff to Rocco Griffin. Fakes the screen pass. He's going to fire it downfield looking for Ogani. It's short of him, incomplete. But he had the streaking tight end there. And it's going to lead to a 3rd and 8.
Looking for the deep ball. Time to throw initially with Jaquan Gibson on the motion there. Probably the first read. Bowling Green reacted that quickly, got out to Jaquan Gibson on the wheel route, and then it was a long play action, basically. Thrown deep, just a little bit too short.
Grant Jordan now on a 3rd and 8. Spread formation for the Minutemen. Empty set. Takes the snap. Jordan fires over the middle, finds the tight end, and he's going to be wrapped up. It's going to be a gain of about 4, and the punt team is going to come out. No, they're going to keep the offense out there. It looks like they're going to keep the offense out there for a 4th down.
4th and 5.
Dowling's going to check in for Reese Adkins. Yeah, they are going to keep the offense out there.
Only 3 yards, but you're in your own 30-yard line.
It's 21-0. Why not? 4th down and 3. Elijah Pedro in motion. He scored his first touchdown of his career last week against Ohio. Snap taken. Jordan with time fires over the middle. Caught by McConaughey. And a first down. Oh, they're going to say he dropped it. They're going to say it was forced out there on the play by the defensive back.
JoJo Johnson with the pass breakup. I thought McConaughey had caught that. McConaughey had the inside leverage on JoJo Johnson. JoJo Johnson able to get his hand in there and disrupt that pass, knock it out of the hands of McConaughey.
And things are just going from bad to worse here for the Minutemen. I don't necessarily disagree with the decision to go for it on the 4th down and 3, and I think the play call that they drew up was pretty good. McConaughey not able to hold on to it. 21-0 Bowling Green with 12:11 left in the second quarter. And again, Bowling Green in good scoring position. So it could get a lot worse very quickly. We'll be here the whole time with you on WMUA YouTube. 2 minutes on the break clock. We'll come back when it's expired. Not much time has eclipsed here in the second quarter. Just 12:11 remain on the clock for the first half. UMass turned the ball over on downs in their own half. Bowling Green take possession on the UMass 32. They've run the ball very well to this point. They lead 21-0. Miles, what can UMass do to stop the bleeding? Is there anything they could do to spark a potential turnaround?
I think they need to load the box. Bowling Green are bringing extra people into the box. I think UMass need to match that. They're going to run the ball.
Gives the handoff to Markel Porter, and he's brought down for about a gain of 1. There's some extracurricular activities going on the field, something UMass become accustomed to this season.
They're one of the most penalized teams in the entire country. I think they're top 10 penalty minutes, or penalty yards, rather.
2nd down and 8. Porter remains on the field. Alan Middleton on the far side, with Brennan Ridley on the short side. Gives the handoff to Porter. He's going to sweep to the outside. Good block by the tackle. He's going to get outside to the 20-yard line, pick up the first down. Porter with the run, picks up the first, and now 10 yards away from goal to go. This Bowling Green Falcon team will not be stopped in the run game.
And it's all about the middle linebackers following the guards. The guards are showing where the ball is going. And this Bowling Green team loves to run a counter, loves to get the guards in motion in the blocking schemes. And so if you're Tyler Martin, you need to be keyed to that.
Porter gets the handoff. He's going to be chipped down for a gain of about 5. And a flag is thrown, likely for a UMass taunt of some sort at the end of that play. I believe he was pushed down in the pile, so some more yards likely free for Bowling Green, but we'll wait for the referee to make that distinction, rather. I am all the way up here in the press box. Yeah, so it's a personal foul on UMass's Tyler Martin for pushing down a player in the pile. I believe it was Markel Porter. And for that, he will check out. Coming in now, David Timpson, the freshman linebacker. David Anaha also checking in right now. Was not expecting to see him. He's been battling through injuries, but he is playing. Najim to take the snap. Porter in the backfield. The give to Porter. He's going to take it and battle for a couple of yards, get brought down around 4 for a 2nd down and goal.
On that run play, they're looking to run it to the right. This time, UMass able to fill all the gaps and force cut it back the other way was Bowling Green, and there just wasn't space there. And UMass able to limit the yardage on that play.
2nd down and 4, 2nd down and goal. Pistol formation for Najim. Porter in the backfield. Fakes the give. Najim's going to scramble out, throw it to the tight end for the touchdown. Bowling Green make it 27-0. A big play, a big score there for Blaine Cleaver, the graduate student tight end on senior day. A nice one for him to take things from bad to worse for the Minutemen.
27-28 after the extra point, assuming it is made already here with a decent amount of time, 9:44 remaining in the second quarter, and it's already a huge difference in the scores.
The demolition of the Minutemen is something that has taken place many times this season. This one on pace to be potentially the worst. And this team went to Iowa and went to Missouri, as the extra point is up and good for Cleather. But this team isn't new to losing big, Miles. Big losses to MAC teams like Kent State, Ohio, Akron, Central Michigan, and now NIU in the first action game of the season. Now 28-0 down to a struggling Bowling Green team. right when you think it can't get worse. This is on pace to be a despicably large loss, and I just don't know how UMass are going to be able to turn around from this.
I mean, it's not even Bowling Green stars that are just dominating. It's players that have done nothing all season. Lane Cleaver has 7 career receiving yards.
Including or excluding that?
Excluding that. He had 7 prior to that.
.9:44 left in the second quarter. The kickoff again. I mean, they're not going to return this. We know how this team works. But again, you'd have to think a spark would do some good for this Minutemen team from a return. So the kick is up. Gibson's going to take it out. Finally, the Minutemen take out the return. Gibson to the 20, brought down at the 26-yard line. So he got an extra yard.
And that's the loudest McGurk has been all day, is in that moment, kicking the ball out with some space. It brings energy, and it's something that's necessary for this team to, when you're down big in games, if you want the slightest chance, you need energy. And it just feels deflating to be down at this point in the game. So little things like that do matter.
So UMass now down 28-0 with their next offensive drive. Jordan gives the ball to Rocco Griffin. He's going to get to the outside, battle through a couple of guys. He'll probably get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe get a yard out of it. But a good evasion on the first one, but after that, the swarm got to him.
Yeah, the run game has not been what UMass would have wanted. 10 rushing yards combined. That is including the minus 22 yards that Grant Jordan has picked up over the course of this game in sacks. But Griffin with 22 yards, 7 from Faulkner.
Jordan passes to Gibson for about 5 yards on the out. He'll get out of bounds, and it'll bring up a third and manageable. And you have to think, at this point, everything might be fourth down territory.
I mean, there's no reason to not go for it at this point and just try and get some points on the board.
Use your fireworks, right? Grant Jordan, pistol formation, Rocco Griffin behind him, Elijah Pedro in the slot, Donnie Gray near us, Jaquan Gibson far side, Max Dowling in as the tight end. Blitz coming. Gives the handoff to Rocco Griffin. He's going to just about be tackled short. JoJo Johnson in on the tackle. They will move the sticks forward, so they're going to say he picked up the first down. It looked like he was just brought down short of the sticks.
The far side ref had him getting the first down by a couple steps, but the close side had him just short. And I guess they split the difference and gave the first down.
Faulkner now in the backfield, so a first down for the Minutemen. 7:55 left on the clock. Jordan takes a snap, throws it to Gibson. He's going to come inside, dive down around the 45-yard line for a gain of about 8. And those are the quick passes that UMass need to complete and just keep marching down the field, taking those little gains at a time. Second down 3. Jordan fakes the give. He's going to take it himself and dive forward probably a yard short of the first.
Whenever they line up, Bowling Green, that is, they have one corner play heavily off coverage. And so if you can take advantage of that space given through the short game, through your rushing game, that's what UMass need to do. But they need to do it earlier in this game, not when they're down 28-0.
The grad transfer Jawan Price in the game as they're going to try to tush push. And will they succeed? I believe so. I believe they were able to pull forward on the tush push, get the first down. That was a quick design. The markers are moving, so a first down there for Grant Jordan as he dove forward. He's giving it all he has.
There's been a couple times in this game that UMass have driven the ball downfield, but it's been the negative plays that they need to manage to not have.
Jordan
sacks.
launches downfield looking for Gibson, and he overthrows him. So they're going to try to get the chunk. It's not there. And it'll lead to a second down and 10. I don't mind that, though.
That's a good shot. Gibson, his man beat. If Jordan can find that, that's a touchdown. But now you have second and long. You bring in more of a receiving package. Trips to the right.
Faulkner in the backfield. It's a pistol formation. Dunny Gray on the far side. Jax Markovich, Elijah Pedro, and Dallas Elliott out on the field. So not what you expected to see in the last game of the season if you looked at the roster going in. Gives the throw Pedro. He's going to be tackled by a couple of Bowling Green defenders for about a gain of 7. Elijah Pedro had his first career catch and first career touchdown against Ohio last week. That came courtesy of a Grant Jordan extension that he pretty much did everything in his power not to be sacked, similarly to what we saw earlier today. But he actually got the throw off and threw for a touchdown. So it'll be a 3rd down and 1 on the 43-yard line of Bowling Green. Definitely looking at 4-down territory as we see a very heavy set. Gibson in motion. Gives the handoff to Faulkner. He's going to get the first down and a lot more. Brought down at the 34-yard line. And UMass keep on moving the sticks.
On the play before, on the pass, to get to 3rd down. That's what I was talking about earlier, where the Bowling Green players are playing so far off coverage. Comebacks, quick outs. Those are the plays that UMass needs to be running. Rely on the run game, as they just did, and the short passing game.
Jordan takes the QB draw for about 2 or 3 yards. But UMass finally moving the ball. They're around the 30-yard line for a 2nd down and 7 now on the 31-yard line. They're moving quickly. And if you have to think, if Brendan Hood hadn't fumbled, the game is a lot different because they then don't go for the 4th down convert on their own end. A lot of things can change with one play. 2nd down and 7, 4:48 left in the half. Jordan takes a snap, blitz coming. He has some time. He tries to escape, throws it to Max Dowling on a hop. Dowling's going to get the first down. So a good bit of improvisation there from the Yale transfer for the first down.
I mean, that's where he's at his best, is when he is off script and he manages with heavy pressure while being tackled to flip that to his tight end, get the first down, and UMass continue to drive the ball down the field.
Pistol formation again. Donnie Gray on the far side. Jordan takes the clap, decides not to take the snap. Fakes the handoff. He's rolling out under pressure. He beats the first tackler, scrambling again. Finds the outside receiver there. For a gain of about 4. Jaquan Gibson was the one who came up down with that catch. Dowling was in some space if he was there. Just loft that ball over the running defender. Decides to strike Gibson in the chest.
But once again, the improvisation of Grant Jordan. He's initially rolling out to the right, steadies his feet, looks to find his initial read, doesn't have it, and then is able to get around the first tackler and make that play.
Jordan takes the snap, rolls, fires it over the middle, caught, touchdown Minutemen! The first score here at McGurk in a very long time for the UMass football team, and it's Reese Adkins.
Reese Adkins lined up with his hand in the ground, quickly got up out of his stance, and just ran a streak down the middle of the field and wasn't picked up by the middle linebacker for Bowling Green. And a nice lofted ball by Grant Jordan found Adkins with space, and UMass get one on the board here.
Grant Jordan with the passing touchdown. Morris's kick is up and good. And something to smile about amidst a brutally dreadful first half for the Minutemen. They got on the board. UMass, the 20-yard touchdown there. Reese Adkins, the one who brought it in. We'll be back after this media timeout. UMass 7, Bowling Green 28.